When you think of heavy machinery, the first thing that comes to mind is probably Caterpillar Incorporated. Over the years, they have established themselves as a globally recognized company known for their involvement in heavy-duty equipment and power generation. This brings us to the big question: how exactly did Caterpillar come this far? Caterpillar actually didn't even start as the unit known today as Caterpillar Incorporated. It was founded by Benjamin Holt and Clarence Leo Best, two visionaries who wanted to revolutionize agriculture by reducing its dependence on horsepower or any form of animal power. The thing is, these two actually ran two separate companies and were rivals for years. Charles Holt, Benjamin Holt's father, was a sawmill owner known for building wooden wagons, carriages, and parts. Charles Holt had 11 children, of which Benjamin Holt was the youngest. His sons took after him and developed the Holt Manufacturing Company. Benjamin Holt ran the Holt Manufacturing Company in Stockton, California, which focused on agricultural innovation. Holt made a lot of innovations, like replacing steam-powered engines with gasoline-powered engines in 1908, but Caterpillar actually all started when Holt was troubled by the fact that the wheels of his heavy machines kept sinking through the soft, muddy soil. Although crawler-type tractor treads were already being used all around the world back then, none of them had been employed in the agricultural field, but on November 24, 1904, Benjamin Holt succeeded in attaching those tracks to aid his tractors, thereby inventing the one known as number 77. The name Caterpillar was actually picked out by the company's photographer, Charlie Clement, when he was invited to take photos with the new and improved track sets in March 1905. Benjamin Holt was actually never a fan of the idea, as he saw them as more of mud turtles. All until his nephew, Pliny, and his other family members convinced him that Caterpillar was the perfect choice. The name was finally officially trademarked in 1910 by Benjamin Holt at the United States Patent Office. We have been talking all about Benjamin Holt, but what about Caterpillar Incorporated's co-founder and first chairman, Clarence Leo Best? Clarence Leo Best's father, Daniel Best, was also an inventor known for inventing the first portable grain cleanser and separator, and also a combine harvester. He actually founded the Best Manufacturing Company, which his son, Clarence Leo Best, inherited and took to a whole new level. Clarence Leo Best also ran a small company known as the Clarence Leo Best Gas Traction Corporation. Clarence Leo Best mainly based his machinery on round-wheeled tractors, but later switched to working on track-type designs. His first attempt was something he called a bull race tractor in March 1911, but immediately abandoned the idea. Best later learned from his failures and invented the Clarence Leo Best track layer, which pioneered his new Best designed engine, which paved the way for the Best 75 track layer in 1914. It's incredible how both Benjamin Holt and Clarence Leo Best came from a family of small-scale inventors, only to create one of the biggest companies ever. Now you're probably wondering how both great inventors in the same field would agree to merge their companies like they were friends or former colleagues. The fact is that no, they were not friends. In fact, they actually spent 20 years fighting and filing lawsuits against each other and even arguing over trademark issues. The Holt Manufacturing Company and Clarence Leo Best Company both benefited a lot during the First World War, as their machineries were distributed internationally, especially in the military. After the war, both companies were left with heavy-duty machinery, which were unsuitable for agriculture, leaving them debt and low capital. This completely obstructed their growth. The Holt Manufacturing Company and Clarence Leo Best were advised to merge, and finally, on April 15, 1925, the Holt Manufacturing Company and Clarence Leo Best merged to form Caterpillar Incorporated. They used the name Caterpillar since it was already trademarked. Caterpillar was able to amass current market capitalization of $171 billion and a revenue of at least $67 billion a year, which is incredibly huge. But keep in mind, when most people think of Caterpillar Incorporated, they just talk about tractors and many other heavy machinery for agriculture. But the truth is, Caterpillar Incorporated didn't come this far on just bulldozers and tractors. Caterpillar has actually been manufacturing high-quality gas generators for almost a century. their natural gas generators are known for being reliable and as environment friendly as possible, which a lot of businesses find pretty helpful. Caterpillar Incorporated also involved themselves in the generation of construction machinery and equipment such as bulldozers, telehandlers, backhoe loaders, and motor graders, which revolutionized the construction industry. One of their most notable involvements was in mining, developing exquisite surface mining equipment as well as industrial gas turbines and diesel-powered locomotives. You can see that Caterpillar became such a large enterprise by touching as many fields in the last 100 years as they possibly could. They even run safety services. Caterpillar proceeded to shock the world in 2012 by partnering with Bullet Group Limited for the development of cat phones. That's right, Caterpillar Incorporated got involved in the development of smartphones. Their first series were the B10 smartphone and B25 camera phone, and eventually a lot more over the years. Some of their phones were proven to be water-resistant, shock-proof, and almost as durable as their machines. But unfortunately, the cat phones didn't thrive very well later on in the smartphone industry, and eventually shut down in early 2024. Regardless of their few shortcomings, that just goes to show you how incredible the vision of Caterpillar Incorporated is. Caterpillar's first move after the merging of the Holt Manufacturing Company and Clarence Leo Best Company was to buy the Russell Grader Company in 1928. The Russell Grader Company was known for introducing the Motor Patrol, the first self-propelled grader, in 1920. In October 1931, Caterpillar incorporated the Diesel 60 tractor during the Great Depression. In case you're wondering, the Great Depression was the worst economic calamity in the industrialized world, which lasted 10 whole years, 1929 to 1939. It was basically like an economic pandemic. Caterpillar finally established international prowess in the 1950s after the war, starting with the United Kingdom. Caterpillar proceeded to form a joint venture with Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Limited, which helped them expand all over Asia in 1961. The newly formed venture was called Shin Caterpillar Mitsubishi Limited and began production in Tokyo in 1963, which eventually led to the production of Caterpillar's first large grader, number 16 motor grader. Caterpillar's plan to expand in the Asian market paid off as China alone purchased 34 Caterpillar pipe layers. The company became Caterpillar Incorporated in 1986 as a symbol of their diversity and modernized manufacturing processes. From 1991, Caterpillar got involved in a lot of humanitarian efforts like extinguishing of oil well fires in Kuwait, assisting after the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995, and Northeast Natural Gas Pipeline in 1999. One of Caterpillar Incorporated's most notable construction contributions was the Panama Canal widening project in 1995. In 2001, Caterpillar launched their huge advanced combustion emission reduction technology. This generator set reportedly cost them over $500 million and made them one of the highest ranking in power generation globally. Electronics played a big role in the advanced combustion emission reduction technology, as it was used to not only lower emissions but also optimize power and fuel in the economy. The advanced combustion emission reduction technology also employed the use of air systems for air management instead of just using recycled heat. The final phase of the advanced combustion emission reduction technology was fuel delivery. This consisted of multiple controlled pumps, which facilitated a more complete combustion of fuel. As at 2004, Caterpillar Incorporated amassed $30 billion worth of sales and revenue. In 2008, Caterpillar announced their first electric drive track type tractor called the D7E. The D7E revolutionized track type tractors by providing an optimum balance of power, reduced fuel consumption, and most importantly, a longer drive time. Caterpillar also proceeded to acquire Shandong Engine Machinery Corporation. Shandong Engineering Machinery was known for providing wheel loaders, soil compactors, motor graders, and even track-type tractors for over 60 years. Now, why did Caterpillar Incorporated purchase Shandong Engineering Machinery? Simply for almost the same reason the Caterpillar Incorporated and Mitsubishi Limited Company merged. Both companies were doing basically the same thing, but but figured they could reach greater heights via Caterpillar's dealerships and Shandong Engineering Machinery's channels, which covered over 90 countries, especially in the Middle East, Africa, and of course Asia. In 2010, Caterpillar was ranked the 229th largest company worldwide, reaching an all-time high annual revenue of $60 billion. Things were looking great until the company faced a dip in annual revenue generation down to about $40 billion from 2012 to 2016. The appointment of their new and current chairman, Jim Umpleby, in 2017. Caterpillar Incorporated released their first electric 793 mining truck, and the company saw a spike in their annual revenue generation to their new current all-time high of $67 billion in 2023. An incredible story indeed. We can now understand it wasn't all fun and games over the last century for Caterpillar Incorporated. The growth, expansion, and even the setbacks made this story absolutely thrilling. Caterpillar Incorporated claims to be already working on projects for the next century, including autonomous vehicles.